talk tires. The application period for F1's tire supply contract for 2025 through to 2020 season or possibly 2028 closed a few weeks back in the middle of May, and Pirelli, who's been Formula One's sole tire supplier since 2011, has of course put a bid forward to remain as the F1's tire supplier into the coming years. But word has it they're facing a challenge, and word is that one tire supplier that could be challenging Pirelli is Bridgestone. Bridgestone has supplied tires before in F1 since as far back as the mid-1970s. Yes, I am aware Bridgestone owns Firestone, who've supplied tires in F1 before as well, as far back as the 1950s, but Bridgestone did not buy Firestone until 1988. But Bridgestone were the sole tire supplier of F1 in 1999 and 2000 and the 2007 to 2010, and between 2001 and 2006 they had the infamous tire war with Michelin. Bridgestone's motorsport planning manager, Aichi Suzuki, recently said to Autosport.com that they were evaluating involvements in other racing series outside of major Japanese categories and other international series that they've remained involved with since leaving F1. And not to mention the aforementioned Firestone tire supplier that they own is the sole supplier of IndyCar tires. But Suzuki said that F1 was amongst those series that they were evaluating involvement in, though it has not been confirmed if Bridgestone had indeed applied for F1's upcoming tire tender contract. This is what Suzuki said. "We are always thinking about what and how we can best supply our motorsport activities in global categories, including F1. Of course, we are conducting research on such matters." And the spokesperson for the company said this: "Bridgestone has a heritage of over 60 years in motorsport, and we will continue to pursue sustainable global motorsport activities. However, we refrain from commenting on any particular categories." Will Bridgestone come back to F1? Well, Hawkins. I can definitely understand why they'd be interested in coming back to F1. It has gotten a lot bigger since they were last involved, and that could be something they might be quite interested in. But I'm sure there will be other companies as well that put in bids. Like, for example, the last supply period from 2020 to 2023 that was extended to 2024, Pirelli faced a challenge from Hankook, who this year replaced Michelin as the sole tire supplier over in Formula E. They of course did not win out in the F1 battle, which is obvious given the F1 cars are still running Pirelli tires. And if you ask me, I think Pirelli will have the strongest case for remaining as the supplier in F1 from 2025 to 2027. And with the regulation change that's due in 2026, I can see why F1 and the teams might want to stick with Pirelli. Tires do act different from year to year, I know, but it's a supplier that they've all come very used to since 2011. And so they might want to have that period of stability with the tire supplier through that period of leading up to the big change of the regs and going through that change in the regs. But at the same time, I can also see that they may want a complete change in supplier with the regs coming in the year after and just have a bit of a completely clean slate to where they want why. If Bridgestone have applied, it could go either way. They'll be putting in a strong bid, as will Pirelli and as will any other companies that applied. But I do think Pirelli are going to have the strongest place to stand in this game that they've been supplying F1 for the past 12 years. Now I will say, to close this off, I don't think F1 needs two tire suppliers, mainly because we do not need yet another performance differentiator in this freaking sport. I mean, for God's sake, we can see a difference in performance from the tires in different teams even now with just one tire supplier. Just look at Ferrari. I'm sorry, Ferrari, but if you guys were asked to build a car that didn't screw the tires or draw 25, you'd be drawn 25 every time. Like, seriously, why are Ferrari seemingly incapable of building a car that's nice to its tires these days? Why? Don't mind me, frustrated Ferrari fan. Do you think Bridgestone will replace Pirelli, or do you think Pirelli will stay as F1's tire supplier for more years to come? Or do you think another company entirely is going to sweep in and steal the lot? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.